Welcome friends, I am Jayesh Gandhi and I welcome you all to the lesson 3 of 8085. Today we are going to talk about the bus interface unit and demultiplexing of address and data bus. In the first lesson we have talked about the architecture of 8085 where we have talked about the physical components of the architecture of 8085. In the second lesson we have covered the first component, that is the register set, and now we today want to cover up the second important functional block of 8085, and that is called the bus interface unit. Link to the first two lessons is available in the description, so if you have not seen that, you can please visit those two videos also. Now the bus interface unit of 8085 is shown over here. It is a block which interfaces with the memory and I/O devices, and the 8085 will control all the memory and I/O devices through this block along with the control bus. So let us try to see what it contains and how we can go ahead. Since we have talked about the memory, first of all let us understand what the memory of the 8085 looks. So I have shown a small memory block where you find that data is organized in 1 byte per unit memory location, that is 8 bits are there in that particular byte. So this is the second byte, this is the third byte, and so on, and to every byte we can associate a unique address. So a 4-bit binary address is given to that particular byte. So this is the byte number 0, this is the byte number 1, byte number 2 is 2 in binary, 3, 4 and so on up to 15. So binary addresses are associated with the data in the memory. So you can see that there are two numbers associated with the data in the memory. The first number is the content of the memory and the second number is the address of the memory. Let us try to see how it looks like when we write the addresses in the hexadecimal system. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then A, B, C, D, E, F and so on. So the 15 addresses which were written in binary can be represented in hexadecimal numbers like this. Since we are showing only 16 bytes, so you can easily understand the binary numbers. But when we talk about a large number of memory being addressed, then you will find that using binary numbers is very difficult, and therefore we will use the hexadecimal numbers for this purpose. So one hexadecimal number is a byte which is stored in the memory, and the other hexadecimal number is the address of that particular byte. So there are 4-bit binary addresses, that is what we have seen. The binary address was 4-bit, and therefore 2 raised to 4 combinations are possible. As a result, there are 16 combinations. So 0 to 15 or 0 to F, they are the 16 combinations which work out in this particular block of memory, and therefore 16 bytes can be addressed with the help of 4 binary digits. Now in the bus interface unit we have seen that the address bus is a 16-bit number or a 16-bit bus, and the data bus is a 8-bit bus. Therefore we have got 2 raised to 16 different combinations available to address the memory of 8085, and that comes out to be 2 raised to 16. We can write it as 2 raised to 6 multiplied by 2 raised to 10, and then we have 2 raised to 6, that is 64, and 2 raised to 10 is 1024. 1024 is represented by 1K, and therefore you have got 64K of memory addresses which can be generated by 16 memory lines, and that figure comes out to be 65,536. So you can talk to 65,536 different memory locations. Why? Because we have got 16-bit address bus. If the address bus is larger, then the memory addressed can be larger. This much amount of memory can be connected with the 8085. So this block shows the 64 kilobytes of memory block of 8085, starting from hexadecimal address 000, 001, 002 and so on. You go up to 009, then 000A, 9 and 9, after 9 we have A, then we will have B, C, D, E, F, then 1011 and so on, and this will go on up to FF. So this is the last memory address of the memory block. So this number will be 65,536. So the first address is represented in binary like this, 00, all zeros, and the last address is represented like this by all ones. So this gives you an idea of how the memory of 8085 is organized and what is the quantity of memory which you can connect with 8085. Let us go ahead and try to understand the bus interface unit in more details. So this is what we have. This is the address buffer and this is the data address buffer. These are the address lines A8 to A15, higher order address, that is dedicated for address only, while here you find that the data lines are multiplexed with the address lines, and therefore these lines will be used at some time period for address and at other time period for data. This is called multiplexing of address and data bus. So at a given time, whether it is an address or it is a data can be decided, and accordingly you have to work. This particular arrangement is done in 8085 because the number of pins on the IC is limited. It is 40 only. And if you dedicate all the pins separately for address and data, then 24 pins are used up and there will be no pins available for other operations. When 8085 was being designed, at that time the technology was limited and we could only have ICs with 40 pins maximum capacity. Anyway, so the address and data bus is multiplexed over here. There are 16 address lines, A0 to A15, and there are 8 data lines, D0 to D7. They are separated out into two blocks, A8 to A15, that is the upper byte of the address, and A0 to A7, that is the lower byte of the address, and D0 to D7, they are the member of the data bus. So A8 to A15 is a dedicated address bus, and AD0 to AD7, it is the multiplex data and address bus. So now when we interface the memory with the 8085, then you have to separate out the address and data, and the process of separating out the address and data is called the demultiplexing of the address and data bus. So let us see where they are situated on the pin diagram of 8085. So the lower order address data bus multiplexed, that is situated over here. The higher order upper order address bus is situated over here. So AD0 to AD7 and A8 to A15, these are the address and data bus. Here we have the control bus. So that is the control bus of 8085. Here there is a special signal called ALE. It is called address latch enable, and that pin will be used to demultiplex the address and data bus. The other pins are dedicated for the crystal connection and the reset circuit and the interrupts and serial data communication. Anyway, so that is not of our interest right now. Our interest is in multiplexed address data bus and the upper order bus and the ALE signal. So rest of the signals we will not discuss right now. We will talk about the A8 to A15, that is the higher order address bus, AD0 to AD7, that is the lower order address data bus, and address latch enable, that is called the ALE. So now when we want to demultiplex them, then what we have to do? We have to use an external latch and connect it to the address and data bus, and then when we give the signal, ALE signal, then the actual process will happen. So this is how you have to connect the external latch, that is a 8-bit D flip-flop circuit whose clock is made common and that is given to the enable or the clock circuit of the. So this is what we do to demultiplex the address and the data bus. The address and the data bus acts as an internal as input to the external latch, and the clock of the external latch is connected to the ALE signal. So this ALE signal is connected with the clock, and then the output of the latch will act as a lower order address. Let us see what happens. First of all, the microprocessor will load the address on the AD0 to AD7 lines. So now to the input of this latch you have got address of the lower order. Then the processor will issue the ALE signal. So it will give an ALE signal. On the falling edge of ALE signal, the address is latched into this external latch. So this is what happens. Once you latch the data, it is available at the output as lower order address. So you have issued the ALE signal, it is latching the address, and the output of this latch acts as a lower order address, and thereby making the input side free. The address is gone over here, so input is free, and therefore that can be used for data communication in both the directions. Let us see the circuit in some more detail. So the higher order address bus available as 8 address lines, A8 to A15. The AD0 to AD7 line is connected with the input of the latch, as well as it also goes to the data bus of the other devices, and the ALE signal is given to the clock input of your. It is also sometimes represented as enable input. So clock input of your latch, the number of this latch which is used is 74LS373. The device number of the latch being used is 74LS373. So as soon as you give the address and issue the ALE signal, it is latched over here, and then the bus is free for communication for data. So that brings us to the end of this session. We have talked about the memory organization, the address and the data related to memory, the concept of address bus and data bus. We have also talked about the bus interface unit and the internal multiplexing of 8085, and then externally you have to demultiplex the address bus and the data bus. So that demultiplexing is done with an external latch, and you find that the address bus and data bus is separated out with the help of the ALE signal. So I hope you have liked our discussion. Please give a like button to the video and subscribe our channel to get all the future videos. Thank you very much.